Good afternoon, folks. This is Deb, and this is your Shut the Fuck Up, the special Orange Jackaloon edition. You know, by any standards, this has been a banner week for the Orange Jackaloon and his big, fat, ugly mouth. So, uh, where do we start here? Yeah, I think we'll start here. Here's Donald Trump talking to the Economic Forum of Detroit. Now, mind you, he's in Detroit. Quote, the whole country is going to be like, you want to know the truth? It'll be like Detroit. Our whole country will end up being like Detroit if she's your president. You're going to have a mess on your hands, end quote. Of course, he's talking in Detroit. He is insulting the city of Detroit. He's talking about Kamala Harris, so he's insulting her as well. And he's warning them that they're going to have a mess on their hands if she's elected, because the whole country is going to look just like the city I'm sitting in right now, asking people for votes and insulting them at the same time. And you know what? I have no doubt that the MAGA people in Detroit will continue to vote for him because they're in a cult. Some of them actually clapped when I was watching the clip. But yeah, that's number one. If I were in Detroit and he said that to me and I was sitting in the audience, I would have stood up and told him to shut the fuck up. This is Donald Trump talking to his little minions in Pennsylvania. Quote, I'm putting everything on the line to fight for you. I didn't have to be here. I could have been on a beautiful beach. I could be on a gorgeous beach somewhere in the world, the sun beaming down on this beautiful body in a bathing suit. Holy shit, but the vision of his body in a bathing suit does not say beauty to me, but I digress. He continues, the sun would be beaming down. The waves would be crashing into my face, preferably tsunami waves. Sorry. Instead, I'm here with you in Pennsylvania, and I'd rather be doing that. Well, sorry if I'm insulting you, but please make sure you vote for me anyway, because you're too stupid to reject me. Shut the fuck up, Donald. Really. Yeah, which one do we go to next? Let's see. Oh, yeah. Okay, so as you know, former President Obama is on the road for Kamala Harris now at the tail end of this election. And he spoke the other night. And he was, as always, his usual eloquent self. But nobody triggers Donald Trump like Barack Obama. Nobody. Because he is everything that Donald Trump would just love to be. One of those things is universally respected, which Donald Trump will never be. So this is what he must have been stewing in his own juices for a while. This is what the orange shit stain posted. Obama admits a total lack of enthusiasm for Kamala Harris, especially with black men. I think Obama will be voting for me because he doesn't like the fact that Kamala is an extremely low IQ person. Once again, shut the fuck up. That's just more projection. Kamala Harris is actually quite intelligent, quite accomplished, much more experienced in the political world and in the public service world than Donald Trump will ever be. And you want to talk about IQs? We have a man who is a blithering idiot who can't even figure out what tariffs actually are, calling Kamala Harris low IQ. I learned about tariffs in high school, grammar school, actually. Okay? So Donald Trump, once again, you are projecting the low IQ thing, so shut the fuck up. And then, as we all know, he continually disparages immigrants. I mean, it's nonstop now. This is all the man has left. He's totally immersed in Hitler mode, and he has to demonize somebody as we get to the end of the line here. This was a statement this week about immigrants. Quote, many of them murdered more than one person, and they're now happily living in the United States. You know, now a murderer, I believe this. It's in their genes. And we've got a lot of bad genes in our country right now. So that last statement, right? We've got a lot of bad genes in our country right now. I actually agree with Donald Trump on that, but I'm not talking about the immigrant population. I'm talking about him. I'm talking about his bad genes, you know, because nobody becomes as vile as he is all on his own. So we do know that his father was a skank. We do know that his father was a criminal. We do know that his father was a grifter. We do know that his father was a misogynist. And we do know that his father was a scumbag. And he has inherited all of those attributes from his father. And we also know that there are plenty of people right now sitting in government that have bad genes. The Jim Jordans, okay, the Ron Johnsons, the Ted Cruzes, the Marjorie Taylor Greens, all the aiders and abettors of the insurrection and the fomenters of the big lie. Those people are all genetically inferior, in my opinion. Okay, if we're going to talk about bad genes, let's be honest about it. Frankly, until the Orange Scourge brought it up, I never thought of it that way. But if we're going to get into that kind of discussion, I've got at least 147 of them sitting in the House that have to have bad genes because there's still insurrectionists sitting there. And you know what? There's only one way to make sure that we get rid of those bad genes, and it's called voting on November 5th. We need to shut him the fuck up and take him off the stage on November 5th. And we need to vote blue up and down the ballot so we can shut the fuck up the rest of them as well. Okay? This is it. It's on us. I don't know about you, but personally, I'm sick and tired of hearing him. I'm sick and tired of the mainstream media aiding and abetting him. They never call this guy out. He's like their meal ticket. Okay? This is, you know, a much more prosperous race for the mainstream media if they can continue to aid and abet and give him a platform for his bile. And that's exactly what they're doing. So, therefore, when I saw Joe Biden giving an update on the hurricane and the media peppering him with questions like, have you reached out to former President Trump? Did you contact former President Trump? As if, you know, it's strictly up to Joe Biden to tell him to shut the fuck up about the lying that he's doing regarding FEMA. It isn't. Joe Biden has called him out. I've actually seen him at the podium doing that. The question I have is, where the fuck is the media in all of this? Nobody's calling him out. Nobody. Okay? All I see are milquetoast headlines that Donald Trump appears to insult this one and appears to insult that one. This isn't appearing to insult anyone. This is flat out insulting someone. So when the media wants to go after Joe Biden, the question is here, why isn't the media going after Donald Trump and his blithering, moronic freaking rallies where he can barely form a sentence the way they went after Joe Biden? So the media, they can shut the fuck up too. And Joe Biden just about said that, although he did not say it quite that way. He said to them, why don't you go after him? And that was a legitimate question. So, gang, that's what I've got today. But I will be back tomorrow because I got one sitting right here in the hopper, and I will see you then.